Welcome back, Rage Nation. Got myself Pete here.
That's not really exciting.
You got Senior Dixon.
I don't think that's appropriate.
And you got Monsieur Leopard.
Explorers deserved it. No.
Absolutely.
I was disgusted. I cannot believe they've done this.
Bayou's wacky, Bayou's not good, it's just nonsense.
I disagree on that. That's not possible.
We're getting the band back together. We're on a mission. Yeah.
Now we've got a whole new list of things to complain about.
Welcome back, Rage Nation. We are at it again. Got myself Pete here, and we got Monsignor Dixon. How are we doing?
Good.
Yeah, so we are about a couple weeks into GG4. So this episode, we're actually going to talk about kind of how we're navigating the GG, maybe different keywords and factions that we're trying out or interested in, and then just some general things that we're also noticing about, you know, our journeys and also how things are kind of coming about. So I don't know how you're feeling, Dixon. You said you've been doing some 10 Thundering. How's that generally going for you?
I'm just not enjoying myself. Even when I did, like, I've lost most of the games, and I think it's just complete lack of what's the word? I don't have motivation. There you go. That's the word.
Well, I think there's a difference between I'm losing my games, but I'm not enjoying them, and I'm losing my games, but I'm having a blast, right? Because you can lose games and still enjoy what your crew does, but when you're also not enjoying what your crew's doing, it's kind of like, man, why am I doing this?
I mean, I wasn't enjoying even the game that we played where I won with Misaki. I was not having fun.
Yeah, you're kind of just like, I won this, but I don't feel like I did.
At what cost? At what cost? But yeah, it's just that. It's just I tried. I wanted to see if the same thing that happened with Bayou was gonna happen with 10 Thunders. But this time I was trying to brute force it. Whereas when I was playing Bayou, there were things that were actually fun. They're like really funny.
Yeah, and before we get too much into this, make sure that you guys are checking us out. You can do that on the Discord specifically. If you just ping somebody for the invite, we'll definitely get that to you. You can also check us out on Twitter, and YouTube has been getting a lot of videos that have been getting put up. I'm actually going to put up a video first thing in the morning giving our affiliation link for the for Weird's big Malifaux like Black Friday sale they do. This will be a week after that, so you know, you might catch the back end of the sale by this time, but by the time this episode comes out, if not, that's fine too. Also just reaction videos. Like I'm going to react to the game I did last night with Yan Lo 1 versus Karis 2. So doing some reaction videos and battle reports and just some general things to get content out there for people to enjoy. And then also if you want to support us directly, you can do that at patreon.com/RageQuitWire, where you can support us for as little as $1. You get cool benefits like getting the episodes early. If you join us while we're live recording, you can actually pop in the chat where you can ask questions, talk to us in between either before or after recording. And it's cool to have people on the side chat and just asking questions or giving feedback on what they're experiencing as well. So if you want that benefit, definitely become a patron. We also do some quick giveaways, usually quarterly. We'll give some stuff away. Mailing some stuff out to the patrons probably next week. I'm going to send a couple stickers and a box that we gave away out. So definitely try to do that stuff to help the people that support the podcast. And then we also have that affiliation link. You can go to give us your money, please. Thank you -weird.com/RageQuitWire. And a little chunk of that profit goes to the podcast to help us finance the stupid amount of money I've been spending on Rezzers. So I think I dropped about $500, not going to lie.
Dude, you have been having a blast with Rezzers, and it's very weird because I never expected you to like them.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition, my friend. It's a hell of a
Angel's
drug.
not here.
It's a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
So it's kind of talking about where I've gone this couple weeks. So I started going back to Bayou because I'm like, yes, I love playing Bayou. And It's been pretty good. I'll talk about some of the masters I've been looking at, but then all of a sudden, I was just at my local game store and I started staring at this Yan Lo box, and I'm like, man, those are some cool models. I'm like, I've always wanted to paint those models. And I was like, okay, so if I play, let's say theoretically I play Yan Lo, what faction would I play them in? I'm like, I don't think there's any reason you wouldn't play Rezzers, right? I mean, 10 Thunders has some good stuff, but I feel like Rezzers are just more powerful with Yan Lo.
Right.
And then I started thinking, like, okay, so if I was going to play Yan Lo, I got to have another keyword. And then I started reading some stuff that Maniacal Cackle put out on Molly. And I started watching some games on Molly. I'm like, man, this kind of feels fun. And then I played Dixon with a game with Molly, and I was like, okay, this is quite fun. And then I started getting the Manos drug and the Archie drug and or Dead Rider drug, and I'm just like, all right, we're just doing this. We're just going all in.
Yeah, I gotta say though, the fact that Archie and Manos got a huge boost in this edition, in GG4, I mean,
Yeah.
that's gotta be like cocaine with fentanyl. Like it's just like, oh yeah.
Well, yeah, because like last night I played Cloak and Dagger, right? And I'll talk about this more in the reaction video, and by the time this comes out, it'll actually be out, so you can just go to YouTube and check it out. But I had Manos on one side, he's on one flank specifically. He was just getting intel tokens from the strat marker, and then once something came up close to try and get it themselves, he would kind of leap in and poke them, kill them, and then just haha, run away and go do something else. And Yin was doing the same thing. I mean, Yin, granted, they were only fire gammon, but Yin was not only interacting, dropping schemes for some of the schemes, but also just killing these stupid little fire gammon. And I was just like, yeah, this seems like something that Rezzers are pretty good at. Just kind of this hit and run tactics, scheming, and just dealing with, scheme runners.
Yeah, it's the beater schemers. I guess, I mean, I'm gonna see if that actually sticks, but I started thinking about them as beater schemers, because I started thinking, oh, first mate, and I was like, there's other better ones, because first mate has a category, but he's much more mobile than, like, say, Archie and Manos, right?
Yeah.
But Archie and Manos, they murder things. Yeah, and then they scheme.
They're also like, when you want to switch to kill mode with those two models, they also have ways to heal themselves.
Also,
so that makes them, you can be a little more survivable in that way. Whereas the first mate, if you start taking too much damage, I mean, you just can run. That's pretty much what you're doing. You're just like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, the first mate is more of a generalist piece than the other two. The other two are definitely like murderers. They go and murder things, and they just happen to score points.
And somebody, I was reading, I think it was in the Resurrectionist Discord, I think somebody was like, oh, Manos can be super, like, resource intensive. And I was just like, I don't know, man. I just, like, ping myself for, like, the mask, and then I go leap, and then I cheat in a ram if I want to attack somebody, or I ping myself for a ram to do 1 damage and heal 1 damage. And I'm just like, I don't feel like this is not resource intensive. Like, he kind of can support himself with very little pressure on you.
Yes. He does die to another Archie, little things like that, which is kind of funny.
Somebody that hits harder can deal with him.
Fast, like super fast. Because the thing is that he only has extended reach as a defense.
And then stones.
And then stones, yeah. And he's defense 5. Like, a lot of people think that he's defense 6. It's like, no,
he's willpower 6, but yeah.
Yeah. So shots can kill him.
Well, I was going to say, you can't, and that's kind of, and I've played the game for a while, so I kind of know what his role is. Like, you can't just jump in the middle of the crew and expect him to win the day. He's somebody who likes to kind of hang out by himself and just kind of, what did I say? I told somebody, like, he just likes to pick off, the weak herd, like the weak member of the herd. He's like, oh, you're a little too far away, Shank.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly it. The same thing with Archie. Archie doesn't. Archie cannot do a standoff fight.
I learned that a couple days ago, man. I put Archie in the middle of the table, and Lance just body slammed Misaki 1 into him and just deleted him.
Oh yeah. It's like 7 damage on the first hit, 4 damage on the second. Goodbye.
Dead. He's just dead.
Yeah. And a lot of people think that's hard. It's like, no, it's not. Like, you need one focus on Misaki, which you already can do.
As long as terrifying doesn't screw you over, it's pretty easy.
Right, so that's the only thing that you have to take into account. But Misaki being a 7
Yeah.
means that you need a 5. So it's not out of the that and a red black Joker. Those
Yeah.
are the only two things that can truly ruin that plan.
Yeah, and it didn't. Archie died.
Yeah. It's not that hard. That's really not that hard with her.
Yeah, so you really got to kind of feel your way around it. And that game was actually interesting because I was kind of like, I was being overly aggressive in that game, and it definitely didn't pan out. It was like, yep, this is what these pieces cannot do.
Yeah, because they're not unkillable. They both have jobs that are incredibly powerful, and they're definitely like top of the food chain in their jobs.
Hey, listen, I never thought I'd be sitting here playing Rezzers, but here I am.
Yeah. Archie is probably, I want to say, in the top 5 best enforcers when it comes to being a beater schemer. I don't think that's actually. There's probably people are gonna say he's gonna be like top 2. But yeah, no, top 5 out of the entire game as far as enforcers go. Manos, I would say also top 5. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
Just
he
in
doesn't
general.
he doesn't hit the hardest,
Right.
but he's good at scalpeling out things that need to die. Like I was playing against a local here, and Tannenbaum kind of put his nose out there too far, and you know how much well, if you don't hate Tannenbaum, you haven't played against him. Making you discard your hand, and then also being able to like change the schemes up, and then also just being a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's worth killing. So as soon as he stuck his nose out too far, I just leapt in Manos and just killed him. And I was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm fast now."
Bonatti is the other one. Like, there's anybody that has ink fingers or something like that, people hate it. That's the reason why Summer was hated when he was powerful.
Yep.
Because on top of him hitting like a freight train and having a lot of flips, he also, made you discard cards or pass tokens.
Yeah, and he was playing Anya specifically, so it was interesting to see him in there, and it was annoying. And he died turn 2 for his troubles.
Only time I've seen Tannenbaum is in Jetsa. It's like, it's interesting. I think I've seen him only twice.
Yeah, he's not a
And-
hot pick, but some people
Yeah.
like him.
Well, the both times actually, he damn near won them the game because he actually got the stupid ability off. I forgot the name of the action.
Are you talking
but
about
it
when you can
changes
switch
the
your
scheme.
schemes? Yeah.
That. And both times he was brought for that, specifically for the MWS, and it was gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, and almost won the game outright on that.
Yeah, so I've really been enjoying playing Rezzers just because I think Jan Lo's a really interesting keyword. One, the models are really cool, but the whole reliquary thing and the ascendant stuff is it's a really cool mechanic. I like it's the fighty crew that I like because it's very mobile, it's reactionary, you can push your models around into very interesting spots. And then you can also the minions are strong, so I like good minions. Um, yeah, it's just a really interesting keyword because it can fight, but it can also just be very mobile.
Yeah. It's been like the name of the game for this GG, to be honest.
Well, I
Being
think
very good at both fighting and mobile.
I think he's going to be probably a good drop for me in Raid the Vaults,
Okay.
and then any kind of like standard, you got to be around a point area. He's not going to be bad either. So even if you play like his title version and like Stuff the Ballots, that was pretty good. He does. I don't think I like him in diagonal boards though, so I would have to think about that. Just because diagonal boards I think it spreads them out too far sometimes. Even though he can still do it though. Like I played a diagonal matchup with him, where I played the title. It was Stuff the Ballots, and I brought Archie out of keyword, so I had Manos, Archie, and Yin just scattering, and then Yan Lo, Kenshiro, and I think I brought 2 Gokudo, and they just kind of managed the middle. Kind of like I didn't try to go in the middle a lot because I was playing against an Anya crew that had the emissary and just some like real thick models kind of in the middle. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to go around you.
Okay.
You can stuff the ballot for me.
I mean, I can definitely see, because the title has Obey as well. But the first version, if I remember correctly, had a spell that moves things out of the place. Like, isn't that...
Yeah, but you can also, I mean, you can move stuff with an Obey as well. Plus, you still have the Soul Porter. and the other models I brought were mobile enough where they just kind of went off and did their own thing. So there is a
Right.
version of Yanlo where I can do that. But in the first version, I think most times I kind of want to be within earshot. I think as far as Jan Lo's position, I think I want him as close to within 8 inches of a model as possible, just so I can react.
That's wow. Because the thing is, every single game that I play against Yalo after to round 3, or at round 3, he just does whatever he wants. He literally is like, all right, I'm gonna go fly across the table, just start scoring points by myself.
Well, to your point there, turn 2, I at the end of the turn, I was able to teleport over to the opposing side of the board to help Izamu, and then Karis tried to come in and just do her like living bomb type thing.
Yes.
And then I got initiative, and it was turn 3, and that's when Yanlo just turns on, right? Because you get the +1 damage and everything.
Exactly.
And I just unloaded on Karis. I brought her from full to dead.
Yeah. That's the main reason why I was like saying that. I was like, every game that I played so far with Yan Lo, once round 3 hits, he starts scoring points hard. Like, you have to get as many points as you can before round 3, basically.
Yeah.
I know it sounds weird, but like, when I say get your points, I don't necessarily mean like you're going all 8 physically. Like, you're going to be set yourself up so that you're going to score 8.
Yeah, and I will say, though, I know Chiaki was pretty clutch in that game because she has Dispel Magic or whatever it's called to get rid of conditions.
Yes.
So there was some times where I had like 14 burning on Izamu.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. He's defense
14
4.
burning on
He's defense
Isamu.
4, man. He can't do much.
I mean, that's true because like that's the big guy problem is that they're easily controlled by a lot, which
Yeah.
is the reason why what's his face? Bad Juju. Bad Juju is actually a very hard piece to control because he has planted roots and willpower 7. Whereas like Ototo, Isamu,
Yeah, Izamu just has
Archie,
unyielding.
yeah, Archie, Isamu, and Ototo all have the problem of like we're willpower 5 or 4 and we can't do anything about this. Herpeter.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun, and Jan Lo's definitely the one that I'm gravitating to. But also, man, we played a game where I played as Molly, and I love the mobility of that crew.
I am so upset that Molly is making a comeback in your life because I have PTSD flashbacks from Maniacal Cackle.
Maniacal
'Cause
just
I did
touching
play-
you in the no-no.
Yeah, I never beat him in any of the games that we played.
Oh wow. Well, I mean, he's a really good player, so
Well,
I don't know if I don't know if I'd be able to beat him.
He tied with Angel on the 2022 championships, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I
which
watched
was
that where he was
hilarious.
playing like Wong and he was doing Molly.
Yes, it was awesome.
Yeah, and I like watching some of those lines of play though, because there's a couple points where I think Maniacal could have like tried to be a little more aggressive to really punish something, right? And he kind of took a shot and then he was like, I'm just going to back up. Like there was a very like I'm not going to overcommit because if this goes bad, it's going to be really bad. Like there was one point where he was like, I'm going to shoot, the totem with Manos. Okay, I didn't kill it. I could take another shot, but if I don't kill it, then I'm stuck here and I'd probably die. I'd probably lose Manos.
Yeah, and again, like those pieces are because one of the things that Cackle basically did, because at the time it wasn't that big, was he played a lot out of keyword stuff, and he still does, regardless of what he's playing.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I started noticing with him is that it's like he would get like Manos and Archie regardless of what he was playing. Even when he was playing Molly, he would be like taking things out of keyword, right? And mobility and kill power was like big on his list. So
Yeah.
you're doing it now, which actually fits with what GG wants to do. Is just bringing all those memories right back into my brain.
Yeah, because I mean, even though I played Molly into Raid the Stash against Masaki 1, and in actuality, it was bad because she can just like one-shot some of those models, right? So
Yeah.
especially like the Krooligans.
yeah.
And I was just like, even though that was probably a bad list I brought against her, I still see that I still did some really big things that if it went a little differently, I could have won that game. But Also, I was just like, man, against Misaki, why do I not bring like Anna Lovelace just to shut down part of the board?
Yeah, that's very true. I didn't think about that, and that kind of makes me sad because I always hated Anna.
Yeah, I mean, just like okay, I played Molly. She's not super great into Misaki because she can be very mobile. But if I
Yep.
brought Anna Lovelace, which I don't have the model yet, so that's probably why I'm not playing her yet.
Okay.
Because traditionally that's how I play games. I don't if I don't have the model, I don't play it. But I know like that tech pick would have been very good in that situation.
Huh.
Then all my Crueligans just huddle in this bubble and hopefully don't die.
Yeah. The fact that they still have by my side, that's insane.
Yeah.
They're like one.
That's the thing that I love, man. These little Crueligans, and there's some cool like you can do activation control with it because you can have
Right.
2 Crueligans or even 3 if you really wanted to. Just activate again, so that's essentially like you're getting 2 pass tokens and you just save your beaters for later.
Yeah. It's only once per turn, right? If I remember correctly.
Is it once? I don't think it is. I think you can do
Because
it.
I know that it can only be done to minions.
Yeah, I think that's the caveat, right? So, target friendly forgotten minion that has already activated this turn. Either this model or the target must discard a card. Then the target may activate a second time this turn. So you can do it more than once.
Freaking course. Holy guacamole, am I so upset right now.
Yeah, so you do it to 2. That gives you 2 extra activations on your opponent.
Yes, it does. So therefore, you can activate them early in the turn, then activate her, then reactivate them.
Well, essentially what you do with the
Fantastic.
unpack there is you activate them. They drop a scheme marker and focus both of them. Then you activate Molly. You draw cards. You make 2 of them activate again, and then you remove the scheme marker to draw 2 cards from Forgotten Knowledge or whatever it is.
That's so gross. If you have beaters that can reach across the table in like one activation.
Oh man, I did. So I lost the game, but I did have a sick Rogue Necromancy activation where what did I kill? I killed something. I think I killed the Torkage or something.
Okay.
And then I charged the what minion was it? There was a minion there. I charged 1 minion and I did like
Okay.
5 damage to it with Pouncing Strike. So then I Pouncing Striked into his Thunder Archer, and then I did like a Red Joker, like 6 damage to that or something. So I basically
my
killed a
God.
model, and I almost killed 2 more totems.
Oh my god.
I was like, yeah, that felt really good.
Yeah, no. This is again why I was like, ever since you start playing them, and since I'm like trying to learn this faction that I don't like,
nom
I'm just like,
flashbacks for Dixon.
yeah, I'm just like, this is not good.
Charlie,
this is not good.
Charlie's in the wire.
But yeah, I it made me not want to play Ten Thunders anymore. It's just like I really don't like that I'm pushing myself because I'm trying to brute forces. I mean, I'm trying to brute force playing Ten Thunders, and it's just not working. So I'm thinking I'm gonna go to the guild
Ooh,
to test something out.
spicy.
Well, I got a game tomorrow against Scott, and I'm playing guild. And Nelly versus Nekima. So it's
You're playing Nelly.
yeah, I'm playing Nelly. I could have played Nekima. You know this.
Well,
you know that.
that's why I confirmed. I think so. I don't know what kind of man you are,
Yeah,
but you can do some gross things with Nelly in this GG.
I know. I'm trying to remember all the gross things they used to do.
I mean, basically, you bring some of the field reporters, and you just stick
Yeah.
them by model. What do you know? What strat you're playing?
Yeah. We're playing the ballots. There you go.
So I don't know if it works this way, but if they're near a field reporter or Nelly, you may be able to stuff the ballot for you when they interact since you control it.
Yes,
So
it's exactly how it works.
and you just put out a massive amount of stun and you're drawing cards, and it's just I think it's very, very good. Like I actually, when I was thinking about what to do for this GG, Guild like popped up in my radar like, oh, Nelly's going to be so good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, like 1,000%. And the thing is, false claim is live, so I'm thinking, can I do that with a false accusation guy, the guy that has false claim. I forget his name. He's 5 points. All I know is that if I can pull that off, I'm a happy camper for paying 5 points for one VP.
Well, the cool thing about Nelly is you could actually solo Nelly. Like, you can bring stuff out of keyword and versatile where Nelly can actually fight pretty decent.
Yeah.
So, like, she could do raid the vaults pretty easily. I mean, you bring something like a Peacekeeper and Fiona, and you're just trying to control and just beat things to death.
Yeah. She's shockingly hard hitting, especially if there's a lot of markers on the table. But I'm not expecting a lot of markers with Nekima.
So I've just, and you might have a reaction to this. So what I've decided to do with Rezzers is I decided on Molly, Yan Lo, and I picked up Riva for some reason. So, and the main reason I picked up Riva was just to see how bad the cancer is and see, if I want to smoke those lovely, cigarettes or if I want to, quit. So I don't know what your opinion is on Riva, but there's a lot of bustle on the internet about her being kind of gross.
No, she is gross. One of the main reasons why I assume Noble's, oh my god, I'm blanking out. But yeah, one of my opponents back in the Lone Star Fodown, he was playing them, and I thought that he was gaming me. I don't know if you remember that conversation.
Yeah.
Because he was playing Riva, and he was doing a very good unpack with her.
Okay.
He just didn't know. He didn't have the experience to know, like...
To, like, punish you with it.
Oh, no. To deal also with Pandora.
Yeah.
Because Pandora, Riva does a whole bunch of condition stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then he didn't know that I love playing, Titania. So he banned Nephilim. So I was like, okay, that's kind of odd. So he didn't ban the Kurgan, he didn't ban Titania, right? So my point with this conversation is, I was so mentally prepared for like a disgusting list that when I
thought
didn't
you
play
had to
against
match it.
Exactly. And then when it didn't, like, he still killed a bunch of stuff. Sure. My Titania and my Pandora died. I won the game, but they died.
A lot of people are telling me it's got a lot of Brewmaster 2 pre-nerf vibes.
Yes.
Where it's just like a lot of movement and ping damage that you just can't resist, really.
I agree. Because the thing is that the damage happens whenever a pyre marker gets put down.
Yeah.
And they put pyre markers down even when they die. And that's the big problem.
Yep, they got triggers, they got actions, they got abilities. Yeah, there's a lot of things that just put it down. So the reason why I bring that up is those are the three keywords I'm looking at, because whenever I decide to play something new, I try to figure out what I would pair that with. So my question to you is, if you're leaning a little towards Nelly, what's maybe another keyword that you would pair that with if you go guild?
Oh, I already was looking at Nelly, Tull, and Marshall.
Ooh, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, I already was looking for those three. I love Perdita, and I was, planning on like giving her a try, but I wasn't expecting much from her.
No Dashel, as Harlequin says.
So Dashel is great, but I don't like him thematically, which is the big problem that we were having when I was playing Ten Thunders. I'm not feeling the motivation or the passion of playing. You already know, Harley, you already know that I'm a grappler player. Passion has to be part of the equation, brother.
Yeah, I was going to say the keywords that I picked out are keywords that I am drawn to model-wise, and I like the way they play. Some of the other keywords for like McMorning, Seamus, Daw, I'm like, I don't like those keywords as much. I've played some of those a bit. And I've played against those ones specifically, and I'm just not drawn to them. But once I played the ones that I'm currently on, I was just like, yeah, this is the cocaine, right? This is the stuff that feels good and fits my play style quite nicely.
Yeah. Unfortunately for me, yes.
And honestly, I think, because I have ran into a couple of people like Harlequin who are like that they're not crazy about Molly's aesthetics, but I actually I like Archie. I think that's a cool model.
Yeah.
I got the alternate Rogue Necromancy, so it's not the one that's down, it's like up on its hind legs. So that's pretty cool.
Yes.
And then the creepy kids are just like, I love it. Like just the idea of them just kind of going around shanking people and stuff. Yeah. And I actually like the Forgotten Marshal a lot. I know some people aren't big on him, But I played a couple and the game you and I played. I enjoyed everything he was doing.
Yeah, I still think that I could have played that a little bit better.
Oh sure.
Uh, Namely that I was playing also Honeypot the first version when I knew that you were planning on something fast.
I also somebody told me that if I bring the Wing Terrors or whatever they're called
Yes.
with Philip
Night
and the
Terrors.
Nanny, it makes Philip and the Nanny actually a pretty good like scheme runner. So I'm gonna try that out sometime and see if that's worth anything.
I forgot the combo, but there's some silly combo with Philip and the Nanny and discarding cards.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. So when you discard a card with the Night Terror, they get like a 5-inch move or something. So then Philip and the Nanny also get like a 5-inch move.
Yeah.
So you can trigger that, and it just causes more movement, which is I'm gonna see if if it procs enough to make it worth it. I think people were saying that was better with ley lines. I think they said he was pretty good with that, but I don't know. I don't know if it'll match up for this GG, but we'll see.
In the game with Honeypot that we played, I honestly believe that between the Kruligans, getting double activation, Archie, and Manos, that's it. Those are the three things. Huge things. But basically, the rest of your points were dead, really. Like, Philip and Nanny wasn't that great.
Yeah, in that
The
situation.
Forgotten Marshal wasn't that great. You didn't actually get to use your master as much because I immediately jumped it with like 3 beaters.
Yeah, and that was actually my very first game with Molly, so I was still kind of feeling out activations.
Yeah.
And the kind of sick thing about Molly is once you figure out the hand management thing, right?
Yep.
Her disturbing stories being irreducible 3 damage if you set it up right.
Yes.
Super good because like that just means like if you have it set up, you can just do straight up 9 damage to a model if you hit, and there's nothing they can say about it.
Yes.
Like that's just
Yes.
deleting a model. Just goodbye, sweet summer prince.
Yeah, it's I don't know how he did it. I know that it happened a couple of times in our games. Cackle, I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure you've talked to him already about this.
Sure.
Because he's in our Discord.
yeah. I've been chewing, and actually that's kind of one of the cool things is probably here in a couple weeks we're gonna do a Molly deep dive, so it'll be fun to have him on and talk about it.
Joey.
you can reminisce about your regalia of stories of getting beat down by maniacal.
How about no? But no, in a kind of serious note, the 3 things that I just mentioned in this GG are just absurd because Archie can just take one flank, Manos can take the other, and the children can help either.
Yeah. Well,
And that's stupid.
they can't teleport to Manos. That's the only thing.
True. They have to share a keyword whenever they do by my side. But
I've
the
been
fact that by
finding-
my side is
You can run something like the Rogue Necromancy, or you can throw your totem up that flank, or there's a couple other like smaller models you can just throw up that way to kind of keep it close.
Yeah. You can have something else with Manos. You're right. The Necrotic Machine is surprisingly tanky, if I remember correctly.
It didn't die to Misaki, so that was nice.
Isn't it like Armor 2 and
Yeah.
some other bulk?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Armor 2, hard to wound maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I remember like being surprisingly tanky for a totem.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, well, Masaki's probably going to kill this thing, and Lance took a couple swings and then gave up on it. It's like, I'm going to go kill something worthwhile.
He's like, I don't know what I was thinking, but this ain't it.
Well, it's one of those totems. It was kind of the same thing with Karis's totem. It's if you're going to go in on it, you need to basically send like a min 3 beater on it and just decide you're going to kill it.
Well, I mean more than a min 3 because it's Armor 2.
I'm
so-
saying like you need at least like min 3 too, because it's like okay, I got
Okay.
I got to get like 3 swings and one of them has to be decent.
Gotcha. Oh, and you have to not make it discard cards. If I remember correctly, it also like heals itself.
Yeah.
Like it's super dumb. This thing is
Well, it doesn't heal itself.
shockingly
It doesn't heal
tanky.
itself. Its fading is actually healing Molly.
Okay.
So that's the only thing. It
Okay.
doesn't really heal itself that well.
I remember it healing itself
I'm
for some reason.
I'm still trying to figure out the tricks of it, so I'm not sure exactly how to play it sometimes because you can use it to try and assassinate stuff because if you have poison then you just don't get to use soul stones and crap.
Gotcha. And I just looked at the card. He has Emergency Surret.
Yeah.
so he can heal himself during his activation, which is still annoying.
Yep. Yep. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's and one, I'm a big fan of Lady J, so we could have some great, Lady J undead matches. That would be good fluff wise.
Well, yeah, I. This is the weirdest thing. Like, I think I still need to play more Nelly because just looking at this GG, man, I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, no, Nelly is. If you're a guild player, I don't see any reason why you don't either go Nelly or Lucius. I think one of those two, if you're a guild player, is where you should go.
That's not bad, actually. Why am I not playing Lucius?
I don't know why you're not playing Lucius.
You know what? That's a better point because I actually enjoy Lucius significantly more than I enjoy Nelly.
Yeah, and you can still
Yeah.
bring like some good out of keyword models with Lucius.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you could still bring the Lone Marshal, you can bring the Peacekeeper, you can bring
Yeah.
Luisa. There's a lot of stuff out of keyword you can bring that's really good.
Oh yeah, and because you're playing Lucius, you're gonna have cards in your hand. Like that's the beauty of it,
Yep.
because you don't have to play Lucius 1 to still get cards.
Well, that's the crazy thing about him and Nelly. Like the only reason I think you would be better to go towards Lucius because you have games with him,
Right.
and you like playing either version of Lucius. But if you want to get more in the gross category of I'm going to make my opponents miserable and win the day, Nelly's just like putting out stunned and drawing cards and distracted and pushing
Yep.
models and interacting and stopping you from interacting. Like she's got a lot
Yeah.
more of that denial piece for sure.
I mean, and the funny thing is that I should be liking her because I play Pandora, because that's like a thing that people have been telling me throughout the years, and I kind of agree. I don't know. I don't like the look.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Don't like because people will tell me like this is good. Like this keyword is really good right now. And it's people told me that with Dashel too, right? They told me that with Bashel. They're like, dude, Bashel's so good. Why are you not running him? It's like, because I don't like it. I've played Bashel, at least 10 times, and each time I'm just like, like it's fine. Right. It
Yeah.
reminds me of playing a bit of Kador, but
Yep.
I prefer Dashel 1 because I think it's more interesting to play that.
Yeah. Dashroll 2, because I played him as well. I played against and with a few games, not a lot. He feels very weird with the two executioners.
Yeah.
And I know that's not intelligent to say, but I loved it. I
Yeah,
love
it's
the
not,
feel of it.
It's not like I didn't do well with it because I mean, I remember there was one game where literally I was playing Dashel 2 and an executioner went up to Jakuna, and this is in Dawes crew, and I passed the terrifying. Actually, I can't remember if executioners are ruthless. They might not be, but you can use a soul stone, and I had a red joker and a high ram, and I just looked at Chris and I was like, can that use stones? And he's like, no. I was like, is there like some like way you can mitigate damage with her? He's like, no. I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna put this red joker down. You're gonna take like 9 damage and die.
Yeah. Yep. And they get shielded.
Yep.
And yeah, it's a whole bunch of stuff. Like
And you
they
draw a
get
bunch of
shielded.
cards.
Exactly. That's the big one. Because the thing is that you start moving the stupid
Dispatcher.
dispatcher, and the dispatcher draws you cards at the same time that's giving you actions. It's the weirdest battery in the entire game.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. Dashel is good, and people would be like, this seems like something you love, Pete, and I just didn't.
Yeah, we played, and Dashel 1 was just on point for you.
Oh, I love Dashel 1. He's great.
Which actually, I got to one of the demos that I did to Harlequin was Dashel 1. He wanted to see Dashel 1 in action, and I just did things that you did.
Yep.
An executioner in the demo, and I still think that Harlequin was winning even after this. But the executioner killed like 12 points of models. He killed like 3 eyes and ears, a berserker, and put the doctor at half life.
Nice.
Yeah. But and then he died. But like you get the point, right? Like it's a really the game is so interactive that you can just do heinous stuff and still come out, evenly.
Yeah, and the same thing with looking at Transmortis. Like Bunchtuk, I know he's good, and I know I could do things with it. I'm just so uninterested in the keyword, though.
But is it good right now? Because I love Bunchtuk because of
I think it's
the
fine.
card mechanic and they can draw. Those are the two reasons why I like Bunchtuk.
I think there's a lot of especially like the title, you can make things not count for schemes and stuff, and you still draw cards, and you're still hard to deal with, and you can set up some nuclear missiles to go off with, like the Valedictorian, but to me, it's just kind of like not interesting enough. Like I would rather play Yan Lo because I can just do some pretty bananas type stuff.
I guess in that list, because I think the biggest issue that I've seen with the Von Stuck is they're not mobile. Whereas Yanlo.
Oh yeah, they can scoot.
Yeah, everybody else has like mobility. Yanlo has always been fast. Literally, because like I've seen Isamu on the across the midpoint turn 1.
Oh yeah,
like super easily.
Yeah, I had Izamu almost on the midline before he even activated on turn 1.
Yep. Yeah, it's not even that much of a problem. Like it's that easy.
Lance did ask me why I like Chiaki, and I'm just like, dude, Chiaki's she just helps the crew. Like,
yeah,
you get to hand out your reliquaries, you get to unpack your crew a little bit, you get to beckoning call, so you can move models more. And then Dispel Magic's just good, and she draws you a card, and what else do you want?
Okay, so I know that part of the podcast was to talk about also what we've been doing and stuff.
Yeah.
My thoughts, now that I've gotten some games under my belt of GG4, the beater schemers, man. That's
strong. They're strong.
It is the thing to have or the thing to stop now.
Yeah, I think being able to scheme but also fight is just good. So I think the models we've been talking about, right? Like First Mate, Manos and Archie, just even solid scheme runners like the Kamainu were really good for that. Like I could just go, I get a positive attack on this, positive attack on that. I don't know. What are some other good beater schemers you can think of?
This is my other part of the same coin. I think that the guys that were big on the scheme part, like Loiza, now are threatened because there's going to be an increase of beater schemers. Because Loiza can't fight against Archie and the like.
No.
She just can't handle that.
She's like, see ya.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be the thing. It's going to be trying to stop the beater schemers from like taking
I think
over
that's
the game.
why like Nikima probably got a good boost in this GG as well. Like
absolutely
the Nephilim, the Castores keyword, I think they're very mobile and can hit you quite a bit.
That's true. The Castore title is super mobile, like insanely mobile. More so, in my opinion, than Nikima.
Yeah, I think Desper's pretty good. He doesn't fight as hard, but he fights enough to kind of defend himself.
Desper lost a little power, not because he's still not great, but I think because of the same thing as Loiza. So I think, because the thing is that I used to just run the table with the Monkey King and whatchamacallit, with like Desper, and they didn't really have to like fight a lot. But with the game that we were playing with First Mate, I don't think it was against you, but I played First Mate against somebody that was playing Archie, and Archie damn near manhandled him.
Oh yeah.
And it slowed me down to the point that I only got like 1 or 2 VPs. If I remember correctly, it's only 1 from the First Mate. And you know that he's a huge point sink, so I'm expecting to make more points out of him.
Yeah, and then looking at just other models too, like you have the Blessed of December, who's really good. Just there's a lot of good models that can be very mobile, get to a spot, and then scare off other scheme runners, like Archie, for example, just because that's where my 2 weeks are. Archie did a good job of taking care of the Sovereign. He basically leapt over there, charged it, and I was only hitting it for like 1 or 2 damage a swing. But I was able to push it away and then follow up, and it scared him off enough where he had to go do something else. Like he couldn't stay around Archie; he would eventually kill him.
Yeah, Archie is like I said, it's like he's not easy to kill, but if you don't have a way to kill him or handle him, he will run you over. Like, and I know that sounds like, oh, but that's every model. It's like, not every model can jump and charge 16 inches and kill a model in one hit. Like, there's like certain things that Archie in this equation is trying to tell you.
I think you're wrong about the damned.
Oh, by the way, so we're having a side conversation in our chat. Harlequin posted us like, I think that the Dam is actually a good beater schemer, and I'm like, sadly he is not. And anybody that has played the Damned knows that the Dam dies if anything looks at it wrong. So why do you think that's not the case?
Not if anything.
Dude, he dies easier than the Blessed December.
Oh, I could pull his card up.
Yeah. Go for it. Because literally, that's the big issue that I have with him.
Oh,
if he's
an explorer model, isn't he?
That's exactly right. So if he had the same, or if she had, because I think she's just a Blessed December that was like wronged or something. So then yeah, but like defense 5 is just not gonna cut it when you have everything else basically the exact same as the girl.
So I mean, there's a couple reasons why I like it, and I think it's very situational. Like, you can't. I mean, we're talking about scheming and beating up models.
Correct.
And there's no reason, because, like, you're not going to send the damned into an area where you think it can't win those fights. So you're going to see more scheme runners that are manageable by the damned. I think you have maybe some GG3 brain where it's like, yeah, it just dies because there's fighting everywhere. But
that's my prediction is what I said. The beater schemers are going to be on the up, so therefore you can't have those models that you're talking about.
Yeah, I still like the Dam, though, just for the fact that if you see other... It's kind of just... It's part of the game where it's like, okay, if I bring the Damned and I see they bring Archie, I'm like, okay, I can't win that fight. I have to deploy away from Archie. So... Correct. You go, okay, if they drop Archie first, you're like, good, I'm going on the opposite side with the Damned.
But and then if they drop Manos.
Well, if they don't, I'm not saying if they bring both, okay? Because if they bring both, one, if you're playing in a tournament, you can ban the opposite. Like, you can be like, okay, you're not bringing Manos.
Fair.
So if we're talking competitively, that's just it. But even then, you can still try. I would probably rather go at Manos than Archie, just because Archie spikes a little higher.
Okay.
And just try to make it where if Manos is going to kill the Damned, that he has to go out of his way to do it.
Yes. In this case, shockingly, the Dam has a good chance to deal with Manos.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And he's hard to wound, which helps.
Yeah, more than he has a chance to deal with Archie. So if you were gonna... it's not guaranteed, though, because it's a good fight for both of them.
Yeah.
And the Dam... If he gets a lucky red Joker on damage, the Dam will like one-shot the crap out of Manos easily. So that happens. So you have to be aware of that.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm saying is, like, I'm not saying it's the most elite beater schemer. Like, it's going to have bad matchups where it's like, I can't go near that. Or I have to be very cautious or make it costly for him to come get the Damned.
Right. I just consider him to be on the lower end of the beater scheme.
Well, who else in Explorers are you going to bring, though? As a beater schemer.
Holy crap. I mean, I was going to say Calypso, but I don't even know.
I think Calypso's decent.
Yeah, double activations. Woohoo!
The botanists are good schemers, but they're mid beaters, right?
They don't kill people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They tickle you with all their tentacles.
Yeah, they don't die, but they also don't kill.
Let's see here. I'm just kind of going...
while you're looking through the beaters, I want to answer Saif's comment.
Sure.
Saif asks, coming back from a break, does this GG change much for Pandora 2? I'll be playing mainly Pandora 1 and 2 and Dreamer 1 and 2. So great news. Yes, it does. Because there's a lot of interactions needed in this GG. And while summons still can interact with strategy markers, they can engage. Because if you engage the enemy, they still can engage. By the way, Don't Mind Me is now bigger. So if they don't have Don't Mind Me, there's a lot of strategies that they just can't do. So that's the first thing. Secondly, you still need summons to drop scheme markers or to go and interact with something because the GG calls for that. So yeah, great news for Dreamer. Fantastic. Pandora 2, also the same reason. In my opinion, if I were to play Neverborn again, I would play her mainly in raids and ballots, and that's it.
Yeah, so there's a couple of beaters that I think you could probably bring to also scheme that I kind of forgot about because, I mean, it's just been that kind of GG, right?
Right.
Obviously, Sandworm can
Oh,
can go get that stuff.
yeah,
You can't unbury and then scheme, unfortunately, but you can go kill stuff, right?
correct.
So the sandworm was one where I was like, oh yeah, that's one that you could bring. But also, man, I forgot about the night silk creeper. That model is pretty good.
That is true. The Night Seal Creeper is the stupid ability to teleport to a web,
Yeah.
doesn't he? I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah, he does hit like a truck.
Yeah, and then the one is one of your favorites, the other one that I saw, and that was Model 9.
I love Model 9, but he's also super expensive.
He is 9. He is 9 stones.
That is so huge. Because like the thing is,
But he's good at what he does.
oh, absolutely.
Like
absolutely.
that one game where I had the Cavern Nephilim way up in the corner, and here Model 9 goes, just skipping across the board and killed my. No, you didn't kill it. You engaged it to deny
Right.
me a point, and then you killed it the next turn with
Yes.
Model 9. I was so
Yes.
furious. I was like, I'm gonna kill Dixon.
Dude, like Model 9, again, he's incredible. It's fine. Harley, the reason why he hits hard is because of Catalyst. That's it. That's 100% the reason why. He just bypasses a lot of crap. And he teleports in and out.
Well, and listen, the schemer beater combo. You don't have to have a super spiky damage track. Like if you have like a 2-3-4, and you have some tech in there to make it where you can kill other schemers or deny other abilities, like ignoring armor or something to that effect. That's where it makes you kind of like an effective beater / schemer. You're not going to be amazing. Like, you're not ever going to be having everything that's perfect on the card. But when you're flexible enough to go get something and then put damage on it, that's what I think make people effective. And then the elite ones can reliably kill things like a Manos, an Archie, a First Mate, things of that equivalence.
Yeah, because like the Night Steel Creeper, he can shut down a beater schemer.
Yeah.
Because he also has an ability that staggers and stuns. And then if you activate first, you can chomp on them and then teleport out. And then they're just kind of like stuck there, like, what the crap am I gonna do now?
Yeah.
So yeah, like he's great because one, he's cheap. He's only 8 points for what he does. He's defense 6, hard to wound, and a whole bunch of like mobility. So yeah, he's not. You're right. He's not Archie. He's not in the top 5. But if you put him up, he's probably in the top 10. If I have to think about it.
Yeah. So I mean, and I just think you got to look at once again the faction that they're in, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and if you're playing Euripides, I think you still bring the Damned in this GG just because even if you're not using him as a fighter and schemer, he's still a great schemer. You can still send him off and go get your points.
That's a good point. I'll probably have to like relook at how my dang. You know what? I'm just gonna start playing Neverborn just to like have something comfortable, and then when I get
I think
comfortable
you'll.
with the
Well,
GG,
I think you'd also have fun in Neverborn because it's so different right now, right? Because
yeah,
you could. I think Savage is in a pretty decent spot, probably in Raid the Vaults. And even I don't know. I was gonna say maybe voting, but I don't think
it
so.
actually in all of them. I think it's gonna be especially good in Cloak and Dagger, because the thing is, you have ways to deny interacts in the keyword, and the keyword is like chunky. Like they have a whole bunch of
Yeah.
health. So and mobility, because they have avalanche, which we already know it's like one of the best mobility tools in the game. So yeah, you're right. I think I might have to like give it a try.
Yeah, because then you just have going back to my little app here. So I mean,
Harley, you're looking at every single.
Harley's just excited to be playing the game.
Yeah, he's like you, dude. He loves all factions equally, I guess.
Well, because I think that's not true. There's some factions
I am
I'm not a big fan
kidding.
of, but
$10.
but Zoraida, I think you could have a lot of fun there right now.
Yeah.
I think Dreamer's pretty interesting right now as well.
Not
Like
for-
there's some keywords here where you haven't played in a bit that
Yeah.
I'm like, man, Dixon might have some fun with maybe some Marcus, some Castore, some
I-
Yuri.
So, can I play Dreamer well and do well? Yes. Do I enjoy Dreamer? No.
Oh, Dreamer's not your jam, huh?
This is the weirdest part. It's the child thing. It's the fact that he's a child. It just bothers me for some reason.
I mean, I have Kruligans that stab hobos and I love it, so.
I hear you, but that's different. Those are undead kids.
Oh, okay. So as long as they're dead kids, okay.
Yeah,
I
they're
see how
fine.
it
They're
is.
fine.
I see how it
They're
is.
robot. Dude, I played Hamlin.
Oh yeah, I
Those
know.
kids were dead.
They're dead inside at least.
Yes, they were.
So because I think you could have some fun with guild, but I think right now, so there's two ways you can go with a new GG, right? You can either be reinvigorated off of stuff that you either haven't played in your faction for a while.
Yep.
You get to try new models that are now good because of the new GG, or you can do what I usually do, and I either go back to Bayou or I try something new, or both. So I went back to Bayou and I loved it, but now I tried some Rezzer crap and I'm like, okay, this is pretty good.
Yeah, I guess I can play, because the thing is, like, a lot of people play Neverborn, so I might as well go back to Neverborn as well anyway, because, like, we're not doing well for some reason.
What do you mean?
And I'm gonna start playing tournaments soon,
Yeah.
and, like, apparently Neverborn is one of the lower in factions, and I'm just like, nah, I don't see
gotcha.
it. Andre soloed Nekima.
Yeah, you won the Houston tournament.
And he won the last Houston tournament.
I will
handedly.
say I did. So I've been playing Bayou, right, and I've been having fun with that. We just did the Zoraida episode, but I dropped Maw Tucket into Plant Explosives, and man, that felt good. Man, I brought 2 Rooster Riders, Maw 1, put Bog in there because why not?
Oh yeah.
Brought Bryn, brought Trixie Bell, and brought a couple other things, and I was just like, man, this is where Maw just feels really good.
Yes, it does. Because it's super weird. Like, Rooster Riders can move 14 inches, take 1 damage, and drop a ski marker. That's just gross in this GG.
Well, so I had a turn 1 that was really interesting where I ran a Rooster up 7. I charged Zip because I was playing against Zip with Maw.
Oh, gotcha.
So I charged Zip, and I think it was the bowled over trigger, and he cheated. So it was bowled over, push, move 2, and then the next turn I was able to move 7, and it was corner deployment. So between a turn and a half, I was able to move that Rooster Rider from my corner deployment zone into Zip's corner deployment zone.
Oh my god!
And just drop a scheme and then go run away, or drop the. He specifically had the plant explosive, so I was able to just run through a crew.
And you happen to be actually good at keeping them alive until they do their job, which is big. Because like I said, any model that can do their job before they die is a good model.
Yep.
Is something that I like to.
Very rarely do I not get some VPs out of my Rooster Riders. You just have to be very smart with them because. So the Rooster Rider, the reason why I went directly into Zip is because Mancha was getting toted around by an Iron Skeeter, and I was like, I cannot be anywhere near Mancha. Like, I just can't. So I literally just was like, okay, I got to go through this crew with this Rooster Rider. The other one had the flank by itself. It was fine. But this Rooster Rider, I was like, I got to go through this crew. Otherwise, I'm just dead. It was fun. I like Roosters.
Don't sound fun to me. I'm just kidding.
They do die, though. That's the thing. And that's why I love Maw's keyword, because there's a lot of risk reward that you do with that crew. And it's like, okay, I got to make this worth it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it works out pretty good.
No, I've had to admit, like, Rooster Riders and Bushwhackers, they die, but they do, like, stupid work that actually gives points.
Yeah.
Constantly, if not all the time. So, like, if you play them decently, not even, like, well, just, like, fine, they get points.
Yep.
Oh, they died. Okay, whatever. Like, what the...
Yeah, so I think Bayou's in a real... The funny thing is, I can't think of a faction right now that doesn't have a bunch of keywords that are really excited about this GG.
Neverborn?
Yep. You don't think there's some good excitement out of it?
Neverborn, I want to say 10 Thunders. Maybe it's just because I don't know the faction that well. And finally Explorers. So 3. There's 3 factions that I'm just like, wow.
I actually thought about 10 Thunders. I was like, okay, I think I could have fun with Asami. And I think I could do Mayfang. And then throw in McCabe. I think I could have fun with those 3.
That's a good point. Both McCabe and Asami can actually pull this off.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just remove... Yeah, 10 Thunders is fine. I am super wrong in that one. Because I'm also thinking about Queen Gone. Queen Gone also has like really fast beaters in... and they have a master that just makes that speed even more. And then they can have like... just dropping ski markers for reasons.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm definitely wrong about 10 Thunders. I guess I got to think about it more because maybe you're right. Maybe it is just every faction. Huh.
Yeah, I mean, because I think there's keywords that are just really going to be interesting to play in this new GG, and it's going to be fun. And I think that there's a couple masters that I know I have in my bag where I'm like, if I wanted to, I could play Zip and probably just solo Zip because I think he's going to be very good to deal with a lot of problems in GG4. I
How
think
does Zip deal with Manos or Archie?
I
In
mean
your, I'm only specifying them because you've been playing them a lot. So I'm just like, how do
I
you
mean
feel
I
about that
mean
matchup?
Zip can just make either one of those. Like he can just hang out with one until he kills it.
Okay, because he can't charge Manos. I'm assuming you're going for Archie.
I mean, you don't you don't have to charge Manos. You could always use your Zip Zap to kind of move him into position and then just up we go him.
Oh, okay.
And you also have the first mate, which can help you fight a little bit too. And then you have skeeters, which are good. And
Yeah,
there's just a lot of different things you can do. You can
yeah.
bring out a keyword to bring pit traps to just dunk people in pit traps. That's always fun.
Does this make you want to play the title more? GG4.
Actually, so the title's good for Zip, but the original is just this is really good for the original because you just you can deny people from points. You can suck up scheme markers with 12 cups. You're fast. You're like speed 8. So you're just going to be able to dunk schemers wherever you can. Zip himself just kills schemers.
Yeah, no, he's definitely a beater schemer, like 100%.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out if like if there's anything that's like really really bad because I think that's just gonna be the back and forth now. It's gonna be can you deal with their version of a beater schemer? Because it was before it was a thing, but it wasn't like as big.
Yeah.
It was more about can you stand and fight?
Yeah.
So people will come to you.
Yeah. And I think you want models in a lot of these pools that are going to be very good at chasing down models, right?
That's the big one.
Like there's a couple of abilities that got better this GG. One is stealth. Stealth just got a ton better.
Really?
And, yeah, just because you can like there's points to run to now, right? Like I can run to the back to vote in your deployment zone. I can run to the corners to score points. I can run to the back corners to score points with like power ritual and stuff. So
Okay.
I think stealth got better, and I think don't mind me. Obviously, we talked about got better.
Yeah, for sure. Abilities, the top three would be by
Dude,
my side.
I was just gonna
Don't
say, tell you
mind
what,
me.
by your side is pretty effing good.
Yeah, I want to say like by my side number one. That's why I was.
I don't know how
like,
many
I
models
put it in
have
that
by
order.
your side, but man, it's good with the Crueligans.
There's only two now. It used to be more, but it's now just two models.
Is it Crueligans and who?
The dog. It's one dog in Apex and the Crueligans.
All right, let's see here. Is it by my side or your side?
By your side. Oh, and the Lost Love.
And the
I'm
lost.
so
I was gonna
sorry.
say, don't forget about the lost love.
Actually, that doesn't really apply that much because that's still in Rezzers, I guess. That's the answer. I don't know what to tell you,
so
man.
so 3 models now, and
Yeah,
the models that lost it were also in Rezzers.
That is true. That is true.
Apparently,
I thought that
Rezzers
there was one more.
Rezzers just have a lot of love in their hearts, man.
I mean, it used to be also like oh my god, thank you for reminding me. There is a version of By Your Side that's actually nerfed. That's still in the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's the children in Elite and Mimic.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the changelings.
Changelings. Thank you. I forgot about them. Yeah, theirs is only 12-inch aura.
Well, there you
So
go.
it's completely it's completely
changelings. I think
fair.
changelings are good in this edition too.
Yeah, they drop scheme markers in exchange of, your scheme markers or terrain markers.
Well, and don't they have like stealth and disguised or something?
Yeah, they have stealth, disguise, and manipulative.
Yeah, I think a lot of those abilities got a buff in GG4 because I think in a lot of situations you have to go hunt things down, and if you can't charge them or if you can't target them, actually I think take the hit probably is well. I don't think take the hit was ever bad, but I think it definitely is still good.
Yeah.
I have those Kamainu kicking around, and I'm just like, yeah, take the hit, haha.
You're right. I mean, I'm still upset that the children have manipulative because Ruthless gets around that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it would be a little bit too much if they also had Syrian countenance.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I guess you're right because I don't know. I have to give them a try. They were okay-ish before they didn't get to fine or decent.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that the new GG4 seeing so many more interact and dropping ski markers actually gets them there.
Yeah. So I think people are still getting used to about how to think about with these new pools and new abilities that are good and not good in this GG. So I'm definitely starting to notice some things where I'm like, man, this is pretty good. Like I've been playing that creepy model Yin in Yan Lo, and I'm
Yeah.
like, man, this Yin model is pretty good.
Yeah, Penanggalan. It's kind of super gross. It's just guts.
Yeah,
It's just
it is gross to
floating
look at.
guts.
It is gross to look at.
Yeah, and it's been around since the V1, M1E.
Yeah.
Literally, this model has been around forever.
That's kind of why I like
Yan
Yan Lo, man, because I think looking at most of these pools, I think even if I just stay in keyword, this is not even going out of keyword, I think Yan Lo can run most of the strategies you would run across.
I don't disagree. That's actually one of the things that I'm trying to figure out in other factions nowadays.
Because I like Molly, but there's a couple of times where I've looked at Molly and been like, well, I can do this with Yan Lo and just kind of also fight.
Yeah, I mean, in Rezzers, the thing that I was looking at that can still do all those things is Seamus. That's what I was looking at.
Yeah, I'm not a big Seamus fan, but
I know you're not.
man.
But I looked at him and I was like, he has teleport 12 inches, check. Ginormous gun, double check. He's like one of the better beater schemer masters in the game because he can actually like kill something and do a scheme and escape in the same activation.
So out of this podcast, I've heard you say, well, 10 Thunders aren't too bad. Maybe Guild. Okay, I'm going to play Neverborn. Wait,
no,
Seamus
Guild
is cool.
No. I agreed with you that, yeah, I think it's all. So I don't know why you're rubbing it in my face.
Because you
again,
can still
but-
play Lucius in Neverborn, so and you get better kind of killer models to hire out of keyword.
Yeah, I'm still gonna play. I said Guild was one of the factions that were good. The ones that I was wrong about was Ten Thunders, Explorers, and Neverborn.
Well, no, I was talking more in reference to what you're thinking about playing moving forward.
Oh, I'm not playing Seamus. I'm just thinking about what's gonna be good.
I know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, in Guild, I honestly think that it's. I mean, Lucius is gonna be great if you know how to play Lucius, but I think
Are there
it's just
any
gonna be tall.
are there any keywords or models that you are just like, this model's bad now in this GG?
Dang, I hadn't thought about that.
I haven't thought about it
No.
either. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, no, I don't know if any model is gonna be bad.
I think you can still be okay with Hoffman, but I do think he got worse.
I can see that.
I think if you're going to play Hoffman, I think you have to do Hoffman 1.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, because, you give out fast, you bring your fast robots, so you bring hunters. You can bring, if you're playing Guild, you can bring Luisa.
Yeah, but he was only good before for Carve.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You can give your models fast to go scheme on things.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. You said that. I just don't believe that's good enough. I don't know if that...
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think he got worse in this GG because it's way more schemey, and there's just so much better things in Arcanist or Guild that you could go scheme with.
Yeah, I still don't... I don't agree. I think that's so we're going to have to agree to disagree on that one.
Like, you don't think he got worse?
No, I don't think that he's good enough. I think Raid the Vaults is still the one pick that I would say, yeah, definitely play him. The other ones, there's other better
that's what I'm
choices.
saying. He's one of the examples that I'm thinking about that I'm like, he's not as good in this GG as he was last one.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, he's kind of my pick of one that I just thought off the top of my head where he's probably worse.
Okay, yeah. I didn't agree. I agree with that. Yeah, I
and-
don't think he's unplayable. If
No,
anybody's-
he definitely. Well, I don't think I can think of any keyword that's unplayable. But that's one where I was like, you have some uphill struggles with some of these pools if you bring Hoffman 1 or 2.
Okay.
And I'm trying to think of other ones that are in similar boats.
So Harley is actually, he's saying that he thinks that Camus is an all strats girl. Honestly, I can't see her in Raid the Vaults, but I do agree with the other ones. Because the thing is that you can actually vote through a model that has a parasite token now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do also, if I remember correctly, it's not an obey, so you can also, what's the stupid cloak and dagger? You can also do cloak and dagger. So that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, because you can. That's not an obey.
Well, no. So I'm also looking at other masters, and I was like, ooh, I don't love Ophelia in this GG.
Oh, I do. I actually think that she is great in cloak and dagger, and it's mostly because it's funny.
Okay, besides the lulls, I don't think she's good in this GG.
Well, the thing is, like they go and take an intel token, and then you shoot them. That's the only reason why I thought that was good for that.
Yeah, but those markers also put out concealing, so that can
Yeah, but you remember you place them on your side.
Sure.
So you get to put them outside of the way. So like, oh, I scheme. Good for you, kablamo.
I'm just kind of I'm going through also, so I think Lady J might also have some issues. You might have to go out of keyword.
Really?
Well, I think because her keyword isn't exactly the most mobile.
Lone Marshal is...
Yeah, it's basically Marshal and Lady J1 are the most mobile pieces, right? So
right.
I think you can play her, but you need to go more out of keyword in this gaining grounds.
I still like her in the plan that I said, because I was going to play her for Cloak and Dagger, Raid the Vaults. Those are the two strats that I thought that she was going to be good in.
Yeah. I'm just kind of spitballing. Let's see here. Anybody else? Tara's going to be a pain in the butt again.
She's just great in everything.
Yeah.
I really can't see Tara not being... Because even if she's playing the other one, the Raids... not Raids. What's the last one? I'm blanking out on the last strategy. There's ballots.
Plant explosives.
Plant explosives. Even if she's just playing plant explosives by herself, she's still, you know what I mean? She's just like doopy doopy doo, just teleport, do it, teleport, do it.
Yeah, so
it's super dumb.
Like I said, I don't think that anything's not playable. Yeah. I do think that there are going to be some keywords where you need to go more out of keyword to make it work better.
Right. Okay, so my take is, how do we defend against it if you're not planning on playing the big boys? You know, because like I'm not tempted to play a keyword because they're powerful.
Yeah.
You already know that about me, and it's not because I'm a snowflake. It's more like
I am. That's why I'm playing Riva.
Right. I know that you're not necessarily. I've seen you be a snowflake as well, but like Riva
definitely.
is like disgusting monster that just happens to click with you.
I haven't actually played her yet. The main reason of getting her stuff is, one, I do like the models, except for I am scared to put those lamp pads together. They look horrendous, and so I'm scared to do that. I'm going to try to do it tonight, but also I just like kind of it gives me some kind of Sandeep / Karis kind of vibes. Even though I don't like Karis a lot, I do like Sandeep. Plus some Brewmaster. Yeah. I do like Brewmaster too. So plus I am a big proponent of, okay, this is good. I need to figure out how to play it so I know how to play against it, is kind of my mentality as well.
Yes. And honestly, like I said, it's like I was not shocked. I mean, I was not surprised. What was the word? Oh my God, my translations are failing me right now. I was honestly surprised when you liked Sandeep. There you go.
Me too.
Yeah, no, dude, like, the moment that you picked Sandeep up, I was like, wait, what? Why? Why would you play this? And then you enjoyed it and I was like, oh God, he's enjoying it. Oh God, he's good with it. Oh God, now I have to learn.
Yeah, and it is funny because I think it was Lance who was like, I see Pete's decided to become a problem or a villain. And I was just like, listen, here's the thing, okay? Here's how the thing goes. Something's busted. Pete talks about it with Dixon. Dixon plays against it, figures out that it's stupid, and then eventually it gets nerfed.
The only time that happened was when we played Damien and Tull, to be honest. Those are the only two. But I think it was like so in your face, busted and broken that we made an entire series about it.
Yep.
And we're like, yeah, look at the broken crap. Look at all the nasty things that I'm doing, and it's still winning.
Yep. And I'm curious if because Riva might just be strong, but I'm just curious, like in a gaining grounds where you don't have to interact in certain points,
Yeah.
is she still going to be that much of a problem, or can it be avoided? Because I think James Varney was the one who ran her and just did really well in the UK Nats.
Yes.
And he's just a really good player. So it's like, okay, is she really that busted, or is she just really, really good? And he's also a really, really good player.
So I foresee that she's gonna be great in Cloak and Dagger and in Raid the Vaults, mostly because you can actually move up and prep with those two missions, and she does well in anything that you have to like move up and prep because she can fight, but she can also make your life a living hell.
How many games do you have with Cloak and Dagger?
Cloak and Dagger only 4.
So are you more of a proponent of interacting with the strategy or stealing from your opponent?
Stealing from the opponent.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I found it to be more efficient. You can hate me for that, but it's just like I can steal from you, and then that model can't actually take it back. So I just like to wait around and be like, just be a problem. It's like, so what you got there? You got a little intel? That's nice.
Which, once again, those kind of people with leap can just leap in, interact, and
Run
or
away.
walk in, interact, and leap out.
Yeah, no, like I wish that I enjoyed playing Arcanist more because those stupid robots, they're in the top 3 in my opinion. They're fighting with enforcers. That's how stupid they are.
Are you talking about the Gearlings?
Yes.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
They're going to be a huge problem. They're going to be a huge, huge problem in this GG. Holy moly.
Yeah, I kind of miss playing them. It makes me almost want to go back to Arcanist. Almost.
Bro, one of them, you're paying 5 points to get a strat point in plant explosives. That's how stupid good they are.
Well, yeah, they can just scream across the board and then just end a condition to interact and drop the plant explosive marker or whatever.
Exactly. They're just like, oh, boop, it's done. Heck, if you can give them fast, it's even more hilarious. Because they move 3 times, and then they use their bonus action to remove fast, and then do another action. It's so gross.
So, does that mean that you're sticking in Neverborn for a bit?
Well, I'm going to play tomorrow's game and see how that goes.
So
but
you're playing Nelly
shocked.
tomorrow specifically.
Yeah, I'm playing Nelly. See if I feel anything for Nelly. And if not, then I'm just going to go to my home in Neverborn for a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, just enjoy, the calming, soothing sounds.
The heart wants what the heart wants, Dixon. You'll figure it out, and you'll find something that speaks to you in this GG.
Pandora already calling me.
Oh, good. Pandora.
Yeah.
She's my favorite.
Hey, man, you already have Archie. I don't want to hear it.
It's fair. Just bring Archie. Just ban Archie. You
No,
don't even ban a keyword. You just ban Archie.
I can just play Titania. It's the same thing, right?
I don't mind Titania.
I know.
I have no qualms with her. I know what she does.
Does she really?
Pandora just punishes you.
Oh, yeah, except Archie. Can't punish Archie for some ungodly reason.
Nope, Archie just goes nom nom nom.
Ah!
He's too dumb to know for his own good. He's just
I hate that so much.
can't comprehend the voodoo that she does.
He's so stupid.
All right, Dixon. Well, anything else about what you've been doing before we roll up on out of here?
No, just that. I got a good game against against Angel, who beat me senseless 7-1. I think it was the score at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no, not in that game. Parker Barrows is gonna be a huge problem as well.
Yep, Parker's good.
Yeah. Parker is gonna be a ginormous problem.
Yeah, I will. The last thing I'll say before we get up on out of here is in the first weekend of February, Captain Con is coming up. I mean, it's probably only about 70 days away or so now.
Oh, my Lord.
Yep, so...
I wish I could actually join you, but it's not going to happen this time, buddy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll get something else down the road. But yeah, I'm definitely going to that, and Jesse's actually going to come on and talk about it sometime, probably in the next week or so here. So that'll be fun to talk to him and see what kind of pools he's maybe trying to concoct and what they're going to have available. I went the first year and it was really good, so I'm excited to be going back this year.
Yep.
All right, but I think with that being said, make sure that everybody's flipping cards, flipping tables, and we will see you all next time.